The icy wind howled across the edge of the human research outpost on the frozen planet of Cryosia 7. Snow whipped against the metal walls, rattling the reinforced panels as if the planet itself was warning them to stay inside. Commander Alex Carter stood at the observation deck, his eyes scanning the horizon. The research outpost was meant to be a simple operation: survey resources, maintain a human presence, and monitor the rare mineral veins beneath the ice. But something felt different tonight. A faint shimmer had appeared near the cliffs that bordered the outpost, something that didn't belong in the harsh white landscape. At first, Alex thought it was an aurora, a natural reflection of the planet's magnetosphere. But the shimmer moved with intent, as though it were alive. He squinted, adjusting the telescope, and froze. A figure was moving across the snow. She walked barefoot, her steps leaving no more than faint impressions that vanished almost instantly, as if the ice itself refused to hold her. The human team inside the outpost had never seen anything like her. She was tall, elegant, and carried an aura of authority that made the air feel different. Her robe shimmered in the dim light, shifting colors with every subtle movement, and her eyes glowed faintly with an inner light. Not harsh, but mesmerizing. Alex felt a chill that had nothing to do with the freezing wind. The figure approached the outpost, gliding across the ice with grace and precision. Her hands were bare, delicate, yet he sensed hidden strength. She paused at the entrance, letting the door slide open as if the facility welcomed her presence. Inside, the warmth of the outpost did nothing to lessen the impact she had. The lights reflected off her robe, and she let it fall slowly to the floor, revealing the contours of her form, but not in a way meant to provoke. Instead, her presence conveyed confidence, control, and an almost regal serenity. Her voice cut through the hum of the heating systems, calm yet commanding. "You're mine tonight." The human scientists and technicians froze. A few instinctively reached for weapons, but Alex stepped forward. He had trained for encounters with hostile life forms, but this was something different. It wasn't a threat in the sense they understood. There was no aggression in her tone, only a challenge. An assertion of presence that demanded acknowledgement. Alex cleared his throat. "I'm Commander Carter." "Who are you?" The alien tilted her head slightly, a small, almost imperceptible smile forming. "Names are a formality among my kind. You may call me Lyria. I am here to learn. And perhaps to teach." The tension in the room eased slightly. Alex gestured for the team to relax, though every eye remained on her. He had never encountered a species that communicated so effortlessly without words, simply through presence and subtle gestures. Lyria's eyes scanned the outpost, observing every detail, every human movement. It felt like she could see their thoughts, but Alex reminded himself to stay focused. "You said I'm yours tonight?" he asked carefully. She nodded, not in ownership as humans would understand it, but in recognition. "Not yours in ownership. Yours in challenge. You, your species, your mind-eye, claim your attention tonight, and you may find that it is a lesson more demanding than any battle." Alex exhaled, tension coiling in his chest. "Then let's begin." Over the next hours, Lyria moved through the outpost, her steps silent yet commanding. She asked questions, complex and layered, about human strategies, ethics, and decision-making. She proposed scenarios that seemed impossible. How would humans respond to moral dilemmas, survival situations, and challenges of ingenuity when resources were scarce? The humans quickly realized that Lyria's questions weren't mere curiosity. They were tests. Every answer, every hesitation, was observed, analyzed, and responded to with subtle corrections, suggestions, and demonstrations of her alien logic. Alex engaged her directly, using every skill he had acquired in strategy simulations, leadership drills, and survival training. Hours passed. The human team became spectators to a dialogue that transcended language. Alex and Lyria moved from room to room, discussing complex problems while observing each other's methods. She demonstrated how her species harnessed the energy of the ice planet in ways humans could not yet replicate. In turn, Alex showed her the creative unpredictability of human solutions, improvisations that even she had not anticipated it. was during a particularly tense exercise involving a simulated breach of the outpost's security systems that Alex realized the true nature of Lyria's claim. She wasn't asserting dominance through force. She was asserting dominance through challenge, through the ability to see and recognize value in human ingenuity. Her presence demanded excellence, and those who met it earned respect. By the time the planet's dim sun dipped below the icy horizon, the humans and Lyria had formed an unspoken understanding. Alex's team had not only survived the night, but had learned from her. Adapting their strategies in ways they had never imagined, Lyria finally paused near the central command console, her glowing eyes meeting Alex's. "You have done well tonight, Commander. You and your people possess qualities I did not anticipate. Strength, courage, resourcefulness, and an unpredictable creativity that may rival even my own." Alex bowed his head slightly, a gesture of acknowledgement rather than submission. "Thank you. And may I ask, why come to us? Why now?" Lyria's smile widened, faint and enigmatic. "Because even in the far reaches of space, I have found one species that can rise to meet challenge not through raw power alone, but through heart and mind. Tonight, you have proven worthy of notice, and perhaps friendship." The night passed, but it was unlike any other. The cold of Cryosia 7, the isolation of the outpost, and the uncertainty of encountering the unknown were all overshadowed by the recognition of humanity's potential. Alex understood that humans were not just explorers or colonists, they were unpredictable, capable, and resilient. As the first light of the next day broke across the icy cliffs, Lyria prepared to leave. Yet her eyes lingered on Alex and his team, a silent promise of future contact, of cooperation, and of lessons yet to come. Alex watched her disappear into the morning haze. Barefoot and radiant, her robe once again shimmering as it caught the weak light of the distant sun. She left behind not fear, but inspiration, and he knew deep in his bones that humanity's place in the stars had just become a little brighter for the first time. He understood what she had meant by, "You're mine tonight." It was not a claim of possession, but a claim of recognition, acknowledgement that humanity, in its ingenuity and courage, could stand as equals among the stars. And as the outpost buzzed back to life, Alex felt a stirring of hope, determination, and pride that he had never experienced before. The galaxy was vast, unknown, and dangerous, but humans had something that no advanced species could ever predict: heart. The sun had barely risen over the icy cliffs of Cryosia 7 when Commander Alex Carter returned to the observation deck. The planet's pale light reflected off the snow, casting long shadows across the outpost. The previous night's events still resonated in his mind. Lyria's presence, her challenge, and her acknowledgement of humanity's potential had left a deep impression. Yet even as he prepared for the day's work, he felt a strange sense of anticipation, as though something else greater was about to unfold. It wasn't long before the signs appeared. Across the horizon, a faint shimmer began to form again, similar to the one they had seen the night before. This time, Alex knew immediately who it was. Lyria returned, gliding across the ice with the same barefoot grace, her robe flowing in the cold wind. She carried no weapons, only an aura of calm authority that seemed to command attention. Inside the outpost, the team watched her arrival with awe. This time, there was no fear. They had experienced her tests before, and they understood that her challenges were not threats, but opportunities. Alex stepped forward, ready to greet her. "You've returned," he said. Lyria's eyes, glowing faintly, met his. "I wish to see the progress you and your people have made since last night, and to offer guidance where I can." Alex nodded. "We're ready to learn, and to cooperate. What do you need from us?" Her smile was small, enigmatic. Cooperation is not about giving orders. It is about combining strengths. Today, you will see how human ingenuity can complement alien knowledge. She led Alex and his team to the outpost's central operations room. There, she demonstrated her species' advanced energy manipulation techniques. using the planet's natural ice and geothermal currents to power systems far more efficiently than the human technology allowed. The team watched, fascinated, as the cold, desolate environment around them was transformed into a controlled network of energy flow, stable and sustainable. "What you see is not magic," Lyria said, her voice calm but firm. "It is understanding. Understanding the environment, predicting interactions, and using resources wisely. Humans have a similar gift, you simply do not always recognize it in yourselves." Alex studied her closely. "And you think we can learn to apply this?" She nodded. "Yes, but only if you are willing to experiment, to take risks, and to think beyond what you have been taught." The day passed in a flurry of activity. Lyria guided the humans through exercises that tested their logic, coordination, and creativity. At first, the team struggled, constrained by their usual ways of thinking. But under her guidance, they began to improvise, adapting her alien techniques to their own equipment. By afternoon, they had stabilized a critical power grid simulation, an achievement that even Lyria observed with quiet satisfaction. As evening approached, a more serious challenge arose. The planet itself seemed to rebel. A sudden tremor shook the outpost, snow and ice cracking under the stress. Sensors warned of a potential collapse of the ice cliffs near the base. Panic could have taken hold, but Alex and his team remained calm. They had been tested by Lyria, and her presence had taught them to trust their instincts as well as their training. Lyria moved swiftly, guiding Alex to a control terminal. "You must combine what you have learned with what you already know," she instructed. "Use human creativity. Use alien precision. Together, you may save this outpost." Alex's mind raced. He recalled the lessons of the previous night, the importance of seeing solutions from unexpected angles, the value of risk-taking, and the power of observation. He instructed the team to reroute power to stabilize the base's supports while simultaneously using Lyria's techniques to manipulate the ice currents beneath the cliffs. The operation was tense. The ice groaned and shifted beneath them. Sweat mixed with cold as the team worked, every movement precise and calculated. Minutes felt like hours, and the tremors threatened to undo their efforts. But finally, with a coordinated surge of energy and human ingenuity, the base stabilized. The ice cliffs held, the trembling ceased, the outpost remained intact. Lively watched silently, her glowing eyes softening. "You have done well," she said. "Not because of my guidance alone, but because you combined your strengths with mine. That is the lesson tonight and every night. Strength is not only in power, but in cooperation, in creativity, and in courage." Alex felt a deep sense of pride. Not just for himself, but for his team, and more importantly, for humanity. In the cold expanse of space, far from home, they had proven that humans could rise to challenges that even advanced alien species might underestimate. Over the next hours, Lyria shared more knowledge. She taught them ways to harness natural planetary energy, methods of communication that transcended spoken language, and subtle strategies for observation and prediction. The humans absorbed everything eagerly, testing, adapting, and improving with every attempt. By the end of the day, they had created a hybrid system of human and alien technology that was stronger, more efficient, and more resilient than anything they had previously known. As the night fell, Lyria paused near the observation deck. The stars above Cryosia 7 were brighter than Alex had ever seen, their light reflecting across the frozen landscape. "You have done more than survive," she said. "You have grown. Humanity is often underestimated because others see only your physical limits. But your creativity, courage, and resilience, these make you a species that can stand among the stars." Alex felt a profound sense of understanding. Her words were more than praise. They were recognition. The alien before him did not see humans as weak, inferior, or expendable. She saw potential, innovation, and determination. He realized that this acknowledgement was far more valuable than any weapon, any resource, or any technology. Before leaving, Lyria turned to him. "I will return when the time is right. And when I do, I will bring challenges that will test not only your mind, but your character. Be ready." With that, she stepped outside, her figure gradually fading into the distance, barefoot and radiant as ever. Alex watched her go, feeling both a sense of loss and a renewed determination. Humanity had proven itself not through force or numbers, but through intellect, courage, and heart. The next morning, Alex called a meeting with his team. "We've learned something extraordinary," he began. "Not just about alien technology, but about ourselves. Humans are capable of more than we realize. If we combine our creativity with the knowledge of others, there is no challenge we cannot overcome." His team nodded, inspired, and energized. They began planning new projects, integrating the alien techniques Lyria had taught them, preparing for the day she might return. Cryosius 7 was no longer just a remote research outpost. It was a proving ground for humanity's potential. A place where humans had earned their place among the stars. Weeks passed, and the outpost continued its operations under Alex's guidance. Now enhanced by the lessons from Lyria, the humans worked more efficiently, adapted faster, and solved problems that would have previously taken months in a matter of days. Each challenge they faced was met with a combination of human intuition and alien precision, creating a synergy that amazed even the most experienced crew members one day. As Alex walked along the icy cliffs to inspect the resource survey sites, he saw a familiar shimmer on the horizon. Lyria had returned not to challenge, not to test, but to observe and ensure that the humans were truly integrating what she had taught them. Her presence was a silent affirmation. Humanity had risen to meet her expectations. "You've exceeded what I anticipated," she said as she approached him. "Your species is remarkable." Alex smiled, feeling a warmth in the cold wind. "We learn from the best." Her glow intensified faintly, a smile forming that seemed almost human. "And yet you did not simply imitate. You adapted. That is what makes you worthy of the stars." As they stood together looking out over Cryosius 7, Alex understood that humanity's journey had only begun. The galaxy was vast, filled with challenges, dangers, and mysteries beyond comprehension. But humans possessed something unique, a combination of curiosity, courage, and resilience that could not be measured in strength alone. When Lyria finally departed, her figure dissolving into the horizon, Alex felt a profound sense of purpose. Humans had proven themselves capable, not through conquest or weapons, but through ingenuity, heart, and will. And somewhere among the stars, other civilizations would have to take notice. The outpost buzzed with renewed energy. Every crew member inspired to push beyond their limits, explore the unknown, and innovate in ways they had never imagined. Cryosius 7 had become more than a research station. It had become a symbol of humanity's potential, a place where humans could stand as equals among the universe's most advanced beings. Alex stood at the observation deck, staring into the night sky. He knew that Lyria would return one day, bringing new challenges and opportunities, but he also knew that humanity was ready. The stars were no longer a distant dream. They were a proving ground, and humans had proven they could rise to meet anything in the end. The words she had spoken that first night resonated in his mind. "You're mine tonight." Not as a claim of possession, but as a recognition. Humanity had earned its place in the galaxy, not through power, but through heart, ingenuity, and courage. And from that moment forward, Alex knew that humans were capable of greatness beyond measure, ready to face the challenges.